Excuse me. Whoops. You might want to turn off the sound there. Looks like it's a little dark. I'm just going to turn this off here. Just getting set up for the stream here. I'm just getting my screens and everything organized. And if you hear some roaring in the background, I've got a little space heater. It's a little cold here again today, so I have to turn on some heat in the room. Just bear with me here just for a couple of moments, and I'll get into what it is that I'm doing here today. Let's see. I actually don't need this up. Okay, so basically what I have here are some water-soluble pastels. These are my Neocolor II pastels from Caran d'Ache, and I've owned these for quite some time. I think I've had them for about 4 years now, and I kind of used them for a bit when I was into the whole mixed media thing about 4 years ago, and when I was doing Lifebook, because they were one of the products that the teachers, or one of the teachers in Lifebook were using, and I thought they were pretty neat, so I thought that I would get myself a pack. I paid about $96 for these, for the 40 pack, and that was because at the time I had a 40% off discount when I picked them up, but I believe on the Canadian Amazon right now you can get them for $93. Like I said, I've had these for about 4 years. They do come in a variety. I have cat hair in the tin. They do come in a variety of sets, as low as a pack of 10 and all the way up to the 126 tin, which I would really love to have at some point in time, but they're going to cost me about $500 to get them all. On the back here, there's a whole bunch of different languages and different explanations of what the Neocolors are, and it's a water-soluble color wax pastel, suitable for numerous artistic techniques and a wide range of materials. 126 colors available individually or in sets. I'm not sponsored or anything. Like I said, I bought this with my own money and whatnot. So basically what I'm going to do today, since I've never swatched these before, I am getting back into using them again, and I'm going to do a little demo later in the stream here. But, of course, my tin wants to go back together. Oh, there we go. The tin is broken. The back hinges and everything fell apart, but that's perfectly okay. I didn't really buy it for the tin. Just to let you guys know as well, as you, I noticed in the last stream that I was doing, if this is your first time here, that my webcam does not pick up blue, greens, or red, because this piece right here on the tin, this is like a bright, just like a red color, and it's showing up orange. And even the tin of the cover of my water jar here, this is a red lid, and I'm sure it's showing up orange to most people. So just to let you guys know, blue, greens, and reds are a little bit off with the webcam, and I can't fix it, or if I can, I don't know how. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm starting off with some watercolor paper here, and what I'll do is I'll draw out my grid, I'll swatch the colors, and then I'll do a little bit of artwork here as well before the stream's end. It's probably going to be maybe about an hour stream or so, give or take, depending if there's a few people here. Maybe I'll continue a little bit longer. But we'll see what happens. The last couple streams that I've done, I've kind of been here by myself. So we'll see if anyone shows up. And I'll do my best with being a little bit of entertainment, I guess. I'm horrible when it comes to keeping up a conversation. So I have a 40 pack of Neocolors, and I'm not going to necessarily make 20 grids down or whatnot. I'm just gonna draw out some squares here to do the swatches in, and I'll probably just do them in the size of the ruler, just to make it a little bit easier. And I'll probably just do, might as well keep it in the screen though, that might work, okay? And I'll probably do maybe like 2 centimeters for each grid, and I'll do maybe 20. Maybe I'll go across this way. So if I go across this way, there'll be plenty of room. So the weather has been really bad here again. It's not bad, I guess. It's just, it's been really cold and it doesn't seem like it's letting up at all. Just need to get a pen here. And this is just a Copic multi-liner that I'm using here because I know they're water soluble. They are not water soluble, I'm trying to get out. Cat fur and dog fur everywhere. They're everywhere. I don't think I'm going to put the names or anything on here. I know there are colors on the wrappers, but after you tear the wrappers down so far, you don't get to see the colors anymore. So I don't think I'm going to put the colors or anything on the swatch sheet. I'm just going to do one more line here, because I don't know how much I'm going to need. I find that multi-liners are really hard to use on textured paper. I don't know if anyone else, if that's happened to anyone else or not. I'm just going to do this. 2, 4, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, and 22. And that gives me 10, so I need 4 lines. Leave it to me, I'll have a crooked grid here in a second. I'm also planning on doing another live stream with my Inktense blocks. I do have those as well, and I also have Graphitint water-soluble graphite as well that I think I'm planning on doing a video with. This is a bit of a boring part of the stream here anyway, just getting the lines and everything drawn out for the swatches. It won't take me too much longer. I like to include this in the stream as well for people that may not have done this before, and it'll kind of give them an idea on how to go about making a swatch sheet. I'm going to do this this way. It's a little bit easier going from left to right. I'm not too worried if the grid doesn't come out perfect either. I mean, it's just for myself. And I'll go ahead after I get this done, I'll laminate it as well. So then I can just leave it in the tin. Almost done here. Oops, I didn't go far enough on this one. It's all good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I didn't need the... I clearly can't count here today. Maybe I will write the colors on there just in case, because if I end up using all of the crayon, I'd like to know which one it is that I need to replace, because you can buy these as singles. But I'm just going to cut this out here real quick so I don't have this big piece of watercolor paper to work on. Now with the water-soluble pastels, you can use them with water, without water. You can do a combination of both. And you can either lift the color right off of the crayon, or you can dip the crayon in water and use them that way. My favorite way to use them, though, is to lift color off of the crayon. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 4 is 40. Just had to make sure that I had enough squares drawn out here. Now, I didn't announce that I was streaming again today, and it's really hard for me to announce when I'm going to stream because most of the time I don't know exactly when it's going to happen. So if in the future you'd like to know when it is that I am streaming, make sure you hit that the bell in the subscription area there that, so you can get notified when I do live stream. At least then, when I go live, you'll be able to see that I am. So I'm just going to go down here and I'm going to draw in a couple little squares here so I can write the names, put the color names down here, and I'm going to use the end of the ruler again because I can't draw a straight line to save my life. So I'm just going to do this. Oops. And I'm just going to draw these lines all the way for all 4 rows, and that'll give me a bit of space to write in the color names. And again, I'm not really worried if they're all the same size or not. Bottom or top? I think we'll put the names on the top, or let's put the names on the bottom of the color. Top. Let's do the top of the color. So I'm just going to grab a smaller marker here. So, oh, that one's not going to work. So I have something that's easy to write with. And I'm just going to start swatching the colors here. Just going to, like I said, I'm not they're going to go across, so they're going to come down and go across that way. I'm not too worried, because eventually, I don't know, I may take them out of the tin. It really depends on if I want to, if the tin gets too annoying for me, because it is broken. Oh, it comes with a little pamphlet in here as well. And it does show all the different colors that you can get. Now, I've tried finding the 126 pack of these on Amazon, and they aren't there. Not on the Canadian Amazon anyway. Sorry about that, guys. My phone is going off here. As usual. Anyone that's been around long enough knows that whenever I sit down to do something, my phone starts going off. Okay, so yeah, the smallest pack you can get is 10. They come in 10, 15, 30, 84, 40, and then 126 colors. I really would like to have the 126 pack. Okay, I'll worry about that later. Alright, so the first one, I think, do they say numbers? This one is 009. I just want to see if the numbers match up. There's no 9. 409. Okay, so clearly the numbers don't match up to the numbers that... Unless this is 75. No, 75 is red. I'm not sure what these numbers mean in here. Oh, there it is. 009 is black. So this here can tell me which colors I need to get if I want to buy them separate. So I can just write 009 rather than writing black. Because then at least the number is going to be at the very end of the crayon. Actually, I believe the white one's supposed to be first. Swiss made. Okay. 001. And this is white. I don't see the point in maybe putting the white on there though, because I don't think it's going to show up very well. So basically, I'm just using a water brush here, and I'm just going to lift. This is how I've been using these crayons, like I said. Okay, you can't see the white at all, so it wouldn't have even made a difference if I put it on here. But what I'll do for the rest, I'm going to color them in, and then I'm going to leave a little bit of the actual crayon part at the top. And then I'm going to use the watercolor brush to make it more, to make them more like watercolors at the bottom. God, get it out. Okay, so the next one is 009 and it's black. Oops, don't put my finger in the wet paint. And I just did it again. So then we have 009. This one's black. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do this about halfway down. I'm going to go in with the water brush, and I'm going to just pull the color. Just like that. So then I can see what it looks like as a crayon, and of course it's gonna look kind of shabby as a crayon. But even with these, you can get a lot of different tones out of one crayon. Just you need to know how much water to put in, how much, you know, kind of mix it. So this is kind of going backwards here now. 003. which is a light gray. And then we have 005. That just says gray. So this is the light gray color. The black one should have been after, but clearly they're mixed up. I'm just going to go right through them like this and put the colors at the top. I clearly have all of these mixed up because this is supposed to be 65 and 49. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in order as I'm going as well. I think I have them arranged so that they were the way that I would use them to color faces and everything with. Let's see. Just bear with me here. That's 90, 81. See, 65. This is weird because we have this. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing anyway. Okay, let's see here. I'm just trying to put them in order before I continue on with doing the swatching here, because it seems that they have some kind of a color order. I'm not sure why. This is 30. I don't know if there is a rhyme or reason behind this, so I'm just going to figure this out real quick. 70, 31. I think there's a little bit of reason as to why I shouldn't have mixed these up. 70, 65. What is this? Bear with me here, guys. Let me get my stuff situated here. That's 10. Wow, these are really mixed up. This is 49. Sorry guys, bear with me. I'll get these situated in a second. Well, it looks like I'm here by myself anyway, so. $20, $40. I really wish that these packages were made a little bit different. That one would go there. Sorry guys, I know this is not the most exciting part. I didn't realize they were all mixed up. That one's good. I didn't realize they were so badly mixed up when I first took them out, so we're going to fix that as I go as well. So this one's $2.49. $171. So the green should be right at the end. 220. Almost done. Just a couple more left. 245. That one goes there. 161. That goes in there. 211. So they do have like a colored group that they should be in. And this is pretty much how they should be in the tin. Like this. Okay, so let's get back to swatching. So this is just yellow. I think one of the things that stops people from buying these is because of the price. This one here is a golden yellow. This is just plain orange. So when you color with them, they kind of remind me of like Crayola crayons, but clearly they're a lot creamier than Crayola crayons. Hope you guys can see the colored swatches okay. This one is orange, yellow. They're not very inventive over the colors, the names of the colors. This one here is just an ochre. 35. Like I said, I've had these for quite some time, and I stopped using them for the longest time. When I was doing Lifebook, let's see here, I can't write and talk at the same time. When I was doing Lifebook, I kind of realized that I really enjoyed doing illustration more than mixed media, because towards the first year of the Lifebook course that I took, I did take 2 years. I didn't even get past the third week in the second year because to me everything was pretty much the same. So I kind of got bored with it. I do have all the lessons still, I haven't completed them. I haven't felt the need to. But towards the end of the first year, I found that I really wanted to do illustration and use watercolors more than mixed media. With that being said, they were doing a lot of collaging and stuff like that, and that's not my thing. I don't like collaging. I don't feel that I'm good at it, therefore I don't do it anymore. But I really do like to still, mix media when it comes to like watercolors, Copics, and ink and stuff like that. I'm not into collaging and stuff anymore. And I don't do journals anymore either. This is just a brown. I'm going to go back in with the water brush after and activate all the colors. This is just a regular brown. Yeah, not very creative with the names, but the product itself is really nice. Oh, there we go. I mixed this up. This is supposed to be right after the salmon. Flame red. So this is still orange here. At the beginning of the stream I said that my camera sometimes doesn't pick up red. But this is still orange. But I mixed this up. This was supposed to come after the pink. So these two right here, I've got them mixed up. And this is 60, and this is vermilion. So again, this is still orange. Well, it's an orange red, I guess. Now this is a red. This is going to show up orange as well, even though it's red. And this one's called Scarlet. I've been watching some videos. I've been trying to paint some Northern Lights. Yeah, I thought these might have been a good thing. See, I did it again. This one here is 65, and I got these mixed up. I was trying to paint some Northern Lights, and I figured maybe these might be good for that. And so I went looking up some tutorials and everything on YouTube last night, and I found that mostly everything that are on Neocolors, they're mostly like a year old. It's like these kind of went off the grid and nobody uses them anymore, or nobody's making videos on them anyway. So I thought that I would bring mine back out. I've noticed that a lot of people use them for coloring in adult coloring books, which is a little strange to me because adult coloring books usually don't have paper that's suitable for water. So it was kind of odd to see people using water brushes in just on plain paper. Now let's hope I don't have any more of these mixed up, because I've got a couple of these mixed up here. This one here is apparently purple, but it looks like magenta. This is what they call purple. And then we have purple violet. I was messing around with these in my sketchbook last night actually, and they do make a really nice gradient if you can get the hang of using them. Now they call this lilac, but it's not very lilac-ish. It looks more like a regular purple because it's very dark. Lilac to me is like a light purple. Like this one here should have been, looks more like lilac, but this is a mauve, if I'm saying that right. Hope you guys are able to see the colors okay. I know like I said, the webcam is not the greatest sometimes. I was using my cell phone, then I went and bought a webcam. This one is 120. This is violet. I'm sure you'll start seeing a big difference in the colors when I start adding water to them. This is 131. Oh my goodness, I don't know how, this is periwinkle blue. Then we jump into 140, which is ultramarine. I don't think I would like using these to do a whole picture with and use them as regular pastels. I don't like that textured look that they give. I mean, it's great if you do like it, but I like the more smooth. I like the more smoother, is that even a word? Smoother? I like a smooth texture when I'm painting. A smooth texture. See, that doesn't even make sense. I like it to look smooth without a texture. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't English again today. God. That's really bad. That just makes me sound really dumb. So 159 is, I don't even know how to pronounce this. Prussian blue? P-R-U-S-S-I. The blue colors in this set is really nice. But I like painting with blues and greens and purples, not so much. I keep saying in my live streams that I avoid red. I don't like painting with red. 160, this is cobalt blue. These are even great to take around with you if you're traveling, because you got a whole load of colors that you can use in like a bunch of different ways. Like I said, if you use them as crayons, though, they can get a little messy. And I find it hard to stay in the lines as well when you use them as a crayon. You can sharpen them. I saw someone in a video last night sharpen away the crayon, but I'm thinking, oh, what a waste. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that. Especially when they cost so much money. I think these are about, I don't know, maybe $3 a piece if you buy them separately. I just got some greens here to do. I'm not even going to pronounce this. I'm trying to make some room here. Got so much stuff on my desk. We jump right into 210, and this is a emerald green. This is a really nice color. This is a jade green. This is number 211. Oh, finish writing it down. This one is 220. I'm almost done here with the swatching. Then I'm gonna work on a couple of things. I have a few things in my sketchbook that I can practice with these on just to mess around. 229. And this one is just dark green. As you can see, there's a nice variety of colors. You can mix these as well. You can color over one another to get different colors. .230 is a yellow green. We've got 231. A lime green. I find if you add the white to the colors, it makes them more opaque. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. 240 is lemon yellow. And see, I have a lemon yellow down here. And then I have a yellow, just this regular yellow up at the beginning, and I just feel like this yellow should have been up with them. It's just, it doesn't seem like the numbering. I know this is kind of like a greenish yellow, but still, I feel like it should be with the yellows and not the greens. And then we have light olive. I don't know why, but I really like olive green color. And I use it quite a bit. Not with these, obviously, but with other markers and mediums. And the last one I have here is olive. So I have a light olive and an olive color. Which, to me, kind of doesn't make sense because you can get a light olive by watering this down or adding white to it. So, I don't know. So now I can go in later and I can figure out all the other colors that I want to get. If I want to buy these as singles, and if I can only afford to buy maybe 5 or 10 at a time rather than buying the whole case, then I can just pick and choose which ones I need and I can get them that way. With that being said, let's go in and activate these colors. And go from there. Another thing that I find with these as well, if you use them as a crayon and you want to go back in and activate them afterwards, sometimes you get a little bit of the grit from the crayon left over, and to me it really doesn't look nice. Again, it's all about not wanting that texture. Really nice colors though. I hope you guys are able to see this okay. The yellow is very, very vibrant. Maybe I should do every second one because I've got colors running into each other. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do every second one and then come back. I find with these as well, I've had them for 4 years, and at the beginning, like I said, I did use them a lot, and there's still some that I've used that I haven't even pulled the crayon wrapper back on. So they can last a very long time. So this kind of gives an idea of what they would look if they were just used as crayons. I'm using a water brush here, and I'm still dipping it into a jar of water. Another thing with these is that they can be reactivated. So if you use them and you want to lay another color on the top, there's more dog here. If you want to lay another color on the top, you can lift the color beneath it. So what I tend to do is kind of plan around what it is I want to do, and then I'll go in and I'll put all the colors down at once that I need and kind of mix the colors with water on the paper, and then I don't run that risk of lifting the color underneath. So to me it's kind of you need to plan just a little bit, and I think that would help a lot better than trying to lay these colors one on top of the other. If anybody is watching this at a future date or even now and you don't want to talk on the live stream, you can definitely, if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down in the comment section of the video. can't seem to stay inside the lines today. I'm just going to continue to skip every second one so I don't contaminate the colors. I find that the lilac and the pink are pretty close together as well. I may possibly stream a couple more times this week, possibly. So again, like I have mentioned before, if you want to know when I'm streaming, don't forget to hit that the bell next to the subscription button. And not only will you know when I go live, but you'll also find out when I upload videos. You get a little email stating when it happens, if you're interested in doing that. If you're interested also in seeing some more swatching live streams or videos, what have you, let me know, because I do have some other products that I can swatch as well, that I need to swatch. So if you enjoy watching the live streams like that, then I can definitely do it on the live stream. Or if it's not something that I should, I don't want to be mean about it, but waste my time on, if no one's interested, then I would like to know that way as well. This live stream is also going to be, you can also replay it on the channel here once it's over. So if you want to know more about the Neocolors, you can rewatch, and I do talk about them quite a bit at the beginning, what they can and can't do and how you can use them and so forth. Oops, I missed one. I get very easily distracted sometimes, and it's horrible. I'm just going to go back up here and get the ones that I missed, so the ones on the bottom can dry. I've seen people use these with gesso as well. If you use clear gesso, it can help them spread better. And then you can use a white gesso, and it makes the colors more opaque, but it makes them look more pastel. And instead of using water, you can use gesso to paint with. Was actually going to get my gesso today, but I completely forgot to grab it before I turned on the camera. I haven't used gesso in a while either. Like I said, when I stopped doing art journaling, that's when I stopped using all those gessos and collaging papers and all that kind of stuff. So, and I actually just gave away about $600 worth of crafting supplies when I started packing up the house. So I did give away quite a bit of stuff. I didn't think I was ever going to use it again, so I didn't see the point in hanging on to it all, because I really have no interest in doing art journaling anymore. If you want to see some of the art journals that I did do and some of the pages that I created, if you go right back to the beginning of my channel, the videos there, I think there's 3 different videos there with journals that I did. So you can definitely check that out if you're interested to see what kind of art journaling I did do. But like I said, I didn't feel like I was that good at doing that, and it wasn't something that I wanted to practice doing. And a lot of people will probably say, well, art journaling is about getting out your ideas, just messing around, but I don't like to mess around. I just like to sit down and work on something and get a finished piece, and I'm not that big into intuitive painting. I don't get it. That may sound really dumb, but I really don't get intuitive painting. My phone is constantly going off. Sorry guys, it's a very big occurrence here for me to sit down and do a live stream or to record a video, and my cell phone just... I know I could turn it off, but then I forget to turn the sound back on, and then if I get an important call or an important text message, then I miss it. So just try to ignore it as much as you can. These colors are so much brighter in person than they're showing up on the screen here. What I'll do, if you want to see what these actually, like what they're supposed to look like, what is this? Is this ink or... Okay. I can post a picture on Twitter of what they're supposed to look like, because it seems like they're really dulled out quite a bit on the video. So if you want, follow me over on Twitter, and I'll post a picture of this when I'm done so you can get a better idea of what the colors are supposed to look like. I don't know what's up with my camera, guys, and I'm pretty sure you're probably sick of me talking about it, but I really don't know how to fix it. Hopefully once I move, I'll be able to get a better camera and a better computer. Almost done with the swatching here. I didn't go over the colors and say the colors again when I'm doing this, because I said all the colors when I was writing them down, so. And again, I'm getting a lot of texture. Just get a couple of more here, and then I'm just going to work in my sketchbook for a little bit before I end the stream. I really do like these colors, and I probably might attempt to get the rest of the set a little bit at a time, because I'm trying to collect the entire set of the Copics as well, so I kind of have to be mindful of what it is I want to get. So that's all of the colors that I currently have, and again, they look so much better in person than they do on the screen here, and that's kind of sad. So there we go. I'm just going to put this to the side. And once it dries a little bit later, I'm just going to laminate it, which I'll do off screen because a laminator has to heat up, and it's yeah, it's just a time-consuming thing. But there are all the colors. Really nice. I'm just going to put it off to the side. And I'm going to grab my sketchbook. So this is one of the flowers that I painted last night. Just trying to see if I can't get a clearer picture here. Bear with me just a moment. And I'm basically just gonna paint one of these flowers here to show you guys what it's like to work with them. says I've been streaming for 2 hours, but I have not been streaming for 2 hours. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but... So this is supposed to be a purple flower when I had drawn the picture, but I don't think I want to paint it totally purple. And I'm just going to have some fun with the colors and just mess around a little bit. If you're curious to know what the yellow flower was painted with, that was painted with Caran d'Ache gouache. And I also have a video left up, the live stream, that you can go back and watch that as well. This is why I hate working with graphite, because the paper is such a mess. Such a mess. So I end up rubbing my hand over the paper, and it just... I don't know. I've been enjoying drawing with the Pilot Color No pencils lately. They you can rub your hand over it and they'll smudge off a little bit. Let's switch this around. They do smudge just a little bit, but it kind of wears away rather than smudging like this. And this is very, very frustrating. So basically I'm just going to pull color from the tops of the crayons, and really how opaque you want it really depends on how much color you lift. And again, I try to blend my colors while the crayons are still wet, because I find that it's a lot easier to do it that way. Yeah, I think I might paint this one the same as I did this one right here, because I really like how this one turned out. So I think I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to use some of the salmon color, and this is pretty much the color I use for the base for skin tones as well when I do it. And I'm just going to be really kind of loose with the color. I'm not going to be too particular about where it's going. I've been finding lately that I've been enjoying playing with different colors to try to see how they look once they're blended or how they look together. The one thing about these crayons as well that's quite similar to Crayola, because they are wax based, is that if they touch each other, they kind of colors rub together, and then you get one color from another crayon on a different crayon, and when you go to pick it up, it makes a bit of a mess. I'm not going to mix this one that much because the colors that I'm going to be using are quite similar. Well, not similar, but, you know, pinks and whatnot. So then I'm going to use this purple color. I think this is the one that I used. I think it might have been, no, it was this one. So I'm going to use the, it's just pink. I hope this is the one that I used. I don't think it is. That's okay. I'm just going to use the lighter color to go in where there would be like shadows and whatnot. I don't know if anyone else has been feeling it, but I've been feeling really low energy lately, and I don't know if it's because of the change in the weather or the change in the atmosphere or something. I guess the atmosphere and the weather is the same thing. But I've been finding that I've been lacking a lot of energy lately, and I can't really get very enthusiastic about a lot of things. And I was watching Bailey J's vlog today, and she put it up saying that she kind of didn't feel like vlogging, and I've been feeling like that for the past little while as well, because I do have a vlog channel on the side for this one, And it's a lot of like behind the scenes type thing that I do, like around the house and projects that I'm working on as I'm working on them kind of thing. And I've been just feeling like I don't care to vlog, and I've even been finding it that I've been fighting with myself to even pick up a pencil or a paintbrush. So it's becoming a little frustrating. So this one's not fully coming out the way the other one did, but it's okay. I'm kind of getting an idea of how I can use the colors here. And I think I used this blue. This is the blue that I used. I'm just going to get tips. And I think that the peaches, the salmon, and the pink, and what is this color that I just used here? This is just what they're calling purple. I think they look really nice together, and I really like using this blue for making like shadows and whatnot. I think it looks really nice. Now, another thing that I noticed about these crayons is that if you try to go over them with a marker or a fine liner, they will gum up your whatever it is that you're using. So if you plan on doing some lining, it might be best to do the lining beforehand. But of course, I didn't do that. Just gonna draw some of these lines on. Now I'm going to put the little dots on the flower in blue as well. This flower is not supposed to be this color, but it's what I want to do. And I think I'm going to go back in and add in some more of this peach to make it darker. I'm just going to rub this on and show you what it's like. It goes on very thick, and it doesn't even look like the same color. But then you can go in, and then you can mess around with the color and move it around a little bit. So it's really neat what you can do with them. And I feel like I need some more of that pink, so just gonna go in with a little bit more of this. There's a little mushroom and a mouse in this book that I want to paint afterwards, so I'll probably do that real quick, and then I'll probably just call the stream done, because I've been kind of talking to myself the past hour or so. I really like how those colors mix together. I don't have, let's see, maybe I can use this. Not that. I do have a Pentel, there it is, pocket brush pen that I can probably go in and do the lines with. I need refills for this thing, it's almost out. But with like a brush pen like this, you can go in and make lines when it's dry apparently, because now I've got nothing but a smudge. Apparently, these are, the Pentel pocket brush pens are supposed to be waterproof, but they're not. And I'm not very good at using brush pens. I'm just learning. So I'm probably just going to ruin this flower here. Yeah, I have no experience working with brush pen, and I'm sure you can tell this is not a very good attempt. I have a very heavy hand. And it definitely shows. Yeah, that flower didn't turn out the best when it came to using the brush pen, but oh well. I really like the way that this one turned out, and I did this one off camera, and sometimes it's best to not do a big thick outline like this. I'm just going to turn on the heat gun. So yeah, I'm not that overly impressed on how this one here. See, you can go back in after and you can... The pocket brush pen, like I said, is supposed to be waterproof, but it's not. Even after you dry it, you can go back in and start smearing the ink around again. I mean, it's okay if that's the kind of look that you're going for, but usually when I'm done inking something, I want it to stay that way. But it is what it is. It's all a learning experience, right? But you can go in and mess around with it as much as you want. I'm just going to dry this water here again real quick, and then I'm just going to turn the page. So I have this little mouse in here that I want to paint. Right here. And if you're curious to know, these were dilution sprays that I did on a video before. Now I'm going to do something a little bit different here this time. I'm actually going to outline the mouse before I even start painting it in. So I don't want to get that... I don't want it to smudge. If you're curious to know, the mushrooms are also done on a live stream that's left to view here on the channel as well, if you'd like to check that out. Again, it's hard for me to talk and ink at the same time, so just bear with me a second. And again, I'm not really worried about the lines coming out perfect because this is just my sketchbook and it's just for playing around in, and I'm trying not to be too serious about it when I'm playing in here, and it's supposed to be meant for fun. But I'm gonna hit that with the heat gun again. This is not supposed to be... you can't reactivate the ink, but I just want to make sure it doesn't smear. This will probably be the last little painting that I'm going to do here, and then I'm going to call the stream done. Now you'll find that if you paint over your line work, it will fade just slightly. because the crayons are a little they're a little thick, a little creamy, I guess. That sometimes it'll make the color of the black lines fade a little bit, but it's not totally horrible. I don't usually paint something without having a reference picture to go by, so this mushroom may come out totally hideous, but I'm not trying to make it look real. Another thing that I saw someone doing on a video was dabbing at stuff with your finger, but that doesn't seem to do much of anything. It doesn't look nice. Not to me, it doesn't anyway. I'm just going to continue to gradually go up with the orange. I'm going to put this really dark orange on the inside here as well, because that's going to be the darker part. Oops, making a mess. Making a mess. And even though I don't use red very often, I'm going to use a little bit of red. And go on the inside of here. Go back into this color. If you want to have these more vibrant, you just need to put more of the color on the paper. But you can have them as vibrant or as dull as you'd like to have. It really depends on what you like. I'm just going to try mixing some of these colors all together. This is just mixed media paper as well, so it's not going to take as much water as I'm used to using. I'm just going to let that part dry a little bit, then I'm going to go in and use some of that blue to make some highlights. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to go in and paint some of the mouse, and it's just going to be a gray mouse. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to grab some pink for the ear. And I'm just pulling color off of the crayon while it's sitting in the case. Off to the side here. And you can use it as watercolors as well if you want to wet the paper first and then dab your color on. You can get that blooming effect that you can get with watercolor. And you can intermix the colors on the paper like I had mentioned before. Like I said, I'm just going to paint this mouse gray. We're going to get some color first. Sometimes I find it really hard to activate the part of the crayon that hasn't been touched before. Just going to go with this. It's going to be darker on his belly than he is on his back. Nothing crazy, like I said, just playing around. And you can see you can get that gray to go really, really dark there if you just add more of the crayon. And I'm going to put a little bit darker spot underneath his ear as well, because there's going to be a bit of a shadow there. And on his back. I'm not used to drawing little cartoon illustrations. Well, I do draw like cartoonish stuff, but I'm not used to drawing little characters like this mouse here. But I think it's pretty cute, and I might try to do it a little bit more often. So now that the mushroom is dry, I'm just going to go back down there and add in some color. That blue that I like using, I'm going to use it as... You can also use purple. Let's try purple. You can use purple as like a highlight as well. Purple and blue. No, let's use the blue because we used orange because they're kind of... They complement each other, I guess. Just going to go down in here and... put in a shadow. Go in here. Again, I'm not trying to do anything too perfect here because, you know, it's just messing around. Just messing around. If you guys would like to see if you're watching this in the future, clearly because I don't think there's anyone watching right now. If there is, thank you. I really appreciate it, but I can't tell if there's anyone watching. If you're watching in the future and you want to suggest something that you'd like to see in the live stream, I'm open to that as well if you'd like to suggest something for me to do. And let's see, I think I might put the... Where's my color wheel? I'm very bad with colors. This is the color wheel that I have if you're interested. I just went on Google and found a color wheel and printed it out. So across on red, we're good. Let's just do the blue. Let's just do them this dark blue. So like I said, I think I want to start painting more or drawing more of these little characters. I think they're really cute. I'm just going to add some more of this pink to the tail of the mouse here and make a mess while I'm doing it. I feel like the mushroom is not as vibrant as I would like it to be. I'm just going to add maybe a little bit of yellow underneath once I clean it up. You can tell I haven't used these in a while because the tips of them, they don't feel right. I'm just going to go in and just add a bit of yellow in and around here. I'm trying not to hit the blue because I don't want green. I think I'll put a little bit of this down here as well, just to, I don't know, to feel like it. Anyhow, that's all I'm going to do for the stream today, I think, because, like I said, I've been here for a while and no one is around, but if you want to go back and if you're watching this in the future, then, like I said, if you want to know when I stream, just make sure you hit the bell in the notification area and you'll know when I stream again next. I'm probably going to stream again later in the week, but I'll try to schedule it to let people know that I'm here because, like I said, sometimes it's really hard for me to do that because I don't know when I'm going to have the energy to stream or the time to stream, so it's kind of hard for me to announce it. So make sure you hit the notification bell, and I will try to update on Twitter when I do stream, and on I don't post as much on Facebook anymore. Facebook's kind of gone downhill for me because people don't usually see my posts on there. But definitely follow me on Twitter, and the next time that I do stream, I will post it on there as well. And like I said, hit that notification bell. But if you're watching, thanks so much, and I'll see you in either the next video, which is coming in on Friday, or if I decide to stream again, maybe on Wednesday or Thursday, depending on how I feel and if I have the time. But I will see you then. Alright guys, I'll see you later.